You join me today for the last two games of the series and of our season. And we have been successful, but we still have things that we want to do. So 2 wins today would go down very nicely. Thank you. Hello and welcome to the penultimate episode of Project Turnaround for this year, where we try and turn around one of the sides that's fallen out of the Premier League. In this case, it's Brentford, and put them back into the Premier League again. My name is Mark, and on today's episode, we have for you the final 2 games of our season and indeed our series as we face Wolves at the Community Stadium. And then we go to the Bet365 Stadium in Stoke for match day 46 of our championship season against Stoke City. Since you were last with us, we've been doing some other things. But before that, if you do enjoy today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. It all helps here on YouTube. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you've enjoyed this series, whether you want me to see me do it again later on in the series. In the cycle, when we get towards the end of FM24, if you'd like to see me do it again, if you'd like to see me do more of them, I don't know, just let me know what you would like me to do, and also what you think our FM24 next FM24 save should be. Penultimate episode. So this week we are finishing up. Next week on Tuesday we will start our brand new FM24 series. Keep your eyes peeled, because there will be news on that, I think, coming out on Wednesday of this week, where we give you a little bit of a heads up what we are planning on doing for our FM24. You can still put in comments what you'd like to see. It will give us some ideas for our next saves. Right, since you were last with us, we've played one game. I think last time out it was Peterborough and Arsenal, and when we got lost 3-2 in the semi-final of the FA Cup, despite Gerard Brathwaite trying to get us into the game. Didn't manage it, but we did have a hard work really, a 1-0 win against Preston North End. 24 shots, 6 of which were on target, 2.10, and 64% of the possession. Enzo Lafay, after 79 minutes, giving us the win in this one. Tavares with a long throw is headed out. Lafay picks it up, but he creates a space for himself. Got a little bit of a deflection, so we got lucky really, and it was that 1-0 win. Having said that, though, Lovelace did have a goal ruled out after 42, which could have changed the complexion altogether. They have 5 shots, nothing on target. So it leaves the Sky Bet Championship looking like this. Not affected at all by anything that goes on, of course, because we are with only 6 points available, 10 points clear of Sheffield United in 3rd place. But still there is competition. Wolves being one of them have secured a playoff place. Bristol City and Blackburn also after those playoff places. They have only 3 points down to it, so it's any 2 from those 3, Bristol City, Blackburn or Burnley, that can get into the playoffs. Watford could do it with 6 points. They could still join in the battle, so it's between those 4. I was going to say those 3, but it is those 4, of course, could still do it, albeit Watford have a very, very inferior goal difference. Already relegated, Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield, they've gone down. Rotherham fighting for their lives at the bottom against Peterborough, who could still go down. And also Swansea and Birmingham, still likely that they could still drop. Coventry are safe, though, on 45 points. Can't get caught by Rotherham. But it's still in the balance for those 4 teams at the bottom there. So we'll see how it pans out over these 2 games. Right, we're not going to mess around. We're going to get on with the episode. We're getting straight into the games. Wolves first up then. We played Wolves obviously earlier in the season. We played them 5 times this series. Well, not this series, but in this save. As you will see, played them in the Premier League. 2-1 a win at the Community Stadium. FA Cup fourth round, a 2-2 draw, lost to them on penalties in the replay. A 2-2 draw at Molineux in the Premier League last season. This season, 0-0 at Molineux. A very tight game, but hoping that with the form that we've been in and the fact that we've turned the corner since then, and the good run that we've been on, apart from the loss in the Cup, we haven't lost in the league since back in December when we lost to Coventry by 2-1 on that occasion. Otherwise, it's been a pretty good run. So hopefully we can add to that today. And here is the side that will face Wolves in this Sky Bet Championship. Matchday 45, the penultimate game of the season. Rea returns to goal. Tavares, Mari, Janssen and Roberts are the defensive line in front of him. Winks, Bidstrup and Kamara are the midfield three. And as you'll see, Winks and Kamara have a fairly decent partnership, having played together often in their selected roles. And Bidstrup and Kamara have a good partnership. So those lines are starting to form there in that midfield role. Yarmouk continues behind Openda and Brereton Diaz. Up front, Patterson, Brathwaite, Preet, Perez, Starfelt, Lewis Potter and Zakari are all on the bench. And our final home game of the season, this is how we face up against Wolves, playing our now familiar formation. And they are playing a flat back three with two wing backs. Formation that seems to cause us problems. I don't know. Wolverhampton fourth on 84 points. Playoff already secured. And they'll be looking for more points today, of course. And we have a highlight from kickoff. It's Wolves getting us underway with Silva. Leety. That one forward. Roberts heads that back to Rea in our goal. Tavares now comes forward. Tavares out on that far side. He's got Pablo Mari in support. Winks finds Kamara. Brereton Diaz. Roberts. And he was sort of tripped. We've won the ball back. Brereton Diaz! Couldn't put it away. Roberts, who was tripped, nearly lost the ball, but Kamara dug it out and Pender through to Brereton Diaz, and it got a deflection, I notice, off of this defender here who blocked the shot, and the goalkeeper could easily collect. Pablo Mari with a free kick now. We're still only 2 minutes into the game, so a lot happening early on here. Sometimes we don't get any highlights for about half an hour. Tavares into the area, but nobody there to collect. And it's headed on, but it's going to be fairly easy for Pablo Mari, who's given the ball away. Winks winning it back and then losing it again to Neto. But Kamara deciding that wasn't going to happen. Through to Openda. Openda's into the area. Openda on his own. I thought that taken a deflection, but offside maybe. Openda into the area here. No, he put that across the area. And I think that's Brereton Diaz. Didn't put a foot out. I think he thought he was offside. Brereton Diaz with a free kick now. 8 minutes, nearly 9 minutes into the game. Brereton Diaz, a long one swung in. It's headed clear. Mari comes out and tidies up. Short for Brereton Diaz, but he wins it. And he's put that one over the top. Or is it saved? It's saved. It's gone for a corner. Tavares with this corner. It's long and deep. Looking for... who was it looking for? Pablo Mari. Didn't find him, but Janssen will tidy up. Another free kick. Brereton Diaz has a go from distance. It's not far away. They have a free kick now. Well, Brighton with a free kick, but Kamara tidies up. Bidstrup. Yarmouk. Yarmouk comes forward. Yarmouk, Roberts. Roberts piles that in. Openda. And the goalkeeper makes a save. It's gone for a corner. And the Wolves goalkeeper keeping them in it at the moment. Tavares with another one. It's a long, deep one again. Looking for Pablo Mari. Janssen. Long ball in. Pender hits it almost first time, but Serek gets it. And no more highlights in this first half. It's been a bit of a tight affair. We've had lots of shots. According to this, we've only had one on target, which I find a bit strange because the goalkeeper, I'm sure, has made more than one save. 1.42 on the XG and 60% of the possession. We need to turn that possession into shots on target in the second half. First highlight of the second half comes 49 minutes in. It's Wolves on the attack, but it's been defended very well. Tavares back to Rea. Rea launches a long one. Penda's going to get under this. Brereton Diaz. Kamara through to Penda. Penda puts away his 35th goal of the season. He has had a absolutely fantastic season and probably no more than we deserved early in this second half. We went attacking at half time just to see if we could draw it a little bit, put a little bit of extra pressure on. We've got a number of players on yellow cards as well, so they can't tackle quite as they were. All Brighton now with a throw-in. And we got to be careful they don't get one back fairly early. Lembrisca through to Pablo Mari, tidies up though. Kamara, Roberts looking for a Pender again. Winks. And Pender not getting under that, but brought down. Kamara. Yamalak through to Pender. Oh, just wide. Question of whether Pender was offside here, actually. I think it was questionable. And with 65 minutes on the clock, making two changes right now. We've taken off Mads Bidstrup and brought on Dennis Preet in midfield. And we've also taken off Ben Brereton Diaz, who's tiring very quickly, and brought on Kane Lewis Potter. 72 minutes on. Very nearly anyway. And that's got out wide to Guedes. Guedes into the area. It's in. And goalkeeper saved that. Rea making a fine save, as we'll see the replay now. As it comes through. Guedes getting on the end of this. Comes forward. Gets it into the area. And Neto and Rea managing to get a hand to it. And Tavares clearing. And with 73 minutes on the clock, making two changes. And Nano Tavares comes off. And Brathwaite comes on for him. And we've also taken Yahor Yamalak off and replaced him with Perez. All Brighton with a throw in. Nearly 82 minutes on the clock. And that one cut out by Kamara. But Kamara and Perez getting tangled up with one another. Wolves have made a number of changes, I've just noticed. It's just come through. Guedes is in. Oh, and it's a bit of a wayward shot, that. And with 82 minutes on the clock, making our final change, Pablo Mari has come off and Carl Starfelt comes on to replace him. That's all our changes. Rea with a goal kick to Pablo Mari. Winks. Perez. Preet. Winks. Be good to add to this goal. Brathwaite on this wing here. Puts it into space for Perez, but it's just a little bit too forward for him. It's gone out for a corner, though. They have a corner. All Brighton with the corner. It's swung in. It's come off the woodwork. And they have another corner. All Brighton on this side. Swung in. Whoa! It's got in! And they've got, right at the death, they have got an equaliser. No, they haven't. It was cancelled out for an offside by the looks of it. Do we get to see that again? It's still 1-0 on the thing, but this has gone forward now. It's cut out by Janssen. Winks. Kamara. Perez. Finds a Pender through. Lewis Potter, but too far forward for him. Sarkic. Brathwaite heads that on. We are in the 4th minute of 4 added on. And it's gone out. I think it might have been offside or something. Free kick. Starfelt, and it's looking like it's the last of the game. Let's see what happened here. Yep, an offside as it comes back off. Lette was offside. So it's finished 1-0 and we continue our good form. 22 shots, 4 on target, 2.24 on the XG, 59% of possession. They come back into it in the second half. 13 shots, 3 on target, 1.66, 41% of the possession. But it's a good win and we go battling on. So at the end of that round of games, with one game left to play for everybody, we've hit 101 points for the season, which is rather splendid. Just 9 points behind Crystal Palace now. We've done very, very well. Closed them down. I think Crystal Palace lost today. They did 3-2 against Luton Town, of all people. So this is how it is setting itself up. The places, as we know, Wolves already secured. Bristol City look like they're in the playoffs. They are 3 points clear of Burnley with a better goal difference and one game to play. So I think the final playoff place is between Blackburn and Burnley. Lancashire. What's the word I'm looking for? Lancashire rivalry, that if you know one, and one of those teams is going to miss out and it's going to upset the other town, whichever way round it is. So it's all down to the final game. We'll find out in a minute that Blackburn are playing Burnley on the final day of the season. It will come down to that final game probably. So it's between those two for the other promotion place pretty much. Albeit Blackburn could overtake, it's still doable. Down at the bottom, only 1 from 3 to go down. Birmingham, Peterborough and Rotherham in that position. Swansea are now safe. They're 4 points clear of Rotherham with only 3 points available on the board. So it's any 1 from 3 down the bottom there. And I wouldn't like to be down there right at the moment. Right, we're going to go cycle through. If there's any news to tell you between now and the next game, we will tell you it. But otherwise, we will come back for our final game of the season against Stoke City. And so no news to report in between games, which brings us to our final match day of the season. It's Stoke City in the Championship, match day 46, and as you'll see, the other games that are being played today, which will decide a few things. I did think Blackburn might be playing Burnley, but they're not. Blackburn are home to Sheffield United, who are in third place. That's going to be a difficult task for them. They need to win in order to secure a playoff place, as do Burnley, really, and Bristol City could be in the mix there. We'll see how that all pans out. And at the bottom of the table, it's between Birmingham, who are playing Watford, Peterborough, who are playing Huddersfield, already relegated. So that should be straightforward for them. So Peterborough should be all right. And the other team that are in the mix down there, of course, is Rotherham, who are in that bottom bit at the moment. They will play Millwall, who are currently in 13th place. Not going to be easy. So out of those matches, Peterborough has the easiest match, I guess, if you look at it that way. Right, without any more to do, let's get on with it then. Let's have a look at the team that will face Stoke. We have played them just once in this series. A 3-0 win at the Community Stadium earlier in the season. Openda getting all 3 goals on that occasion, giving him a hat-trick. 12:53 and 81 minutes from the penalty spot. They are without Sven Kums, who is out with a hip injury, and Nick Powell, who is doubtful with a twisted ankle. We look as if we've got a full fit squad. And here is the team that will face Stoke City in this final game of the season. Rea in goal, Tavares, Brathwaite, Starfelt and Stevens are our defensive line. Shackleton, Bidstrup and Lafay in that midfield. Yarmolak sits behind Zakari and Brandon Diaz. Patterson, Beck, Sorensen, Winks, Perez, Mari, Lewis Potter and Openda are all on the bench. I'm not quite sure why Openda is on the bench. I'm thinking that he takes the place of Zicari. He's got to finish the season, I would have thought, in that position. And the final day of the season, Stoke are lining up with a flat back three, two wing backs, formation that most sides seem to have adopted against us just recently, and it has thwarted us a little bit. We're not free scoring like we were. Stoke down in 16th on 52 points. First highlight comes 7 minutes in. Lafay with a corner. It's an in-swinger and it's gone over the top. Brathwaite getting his head on that but couldn't bring it down. They have a throw-in on that far side. And one back. Barrett Diaz. Barrett Diaz through to Openda, looking for Openda, but Openda couldn't get on the end of it. And it's well defended by Stoke. It's gone forward. Brathwaite under that. Bidstrup, Lafay, Yamalak, Openda through to Barrett Diaz. His 12th goal of the season, and question of his offside actually. I don't think he was. I think he stayed onside. Gillespie with the goal kick. Launches a long one. Bidstrup to Lafay. Lafay can control it. And Stoke get on the end of it, but it's tidied up by Starfelt. Raya to Stevens. Starfelt forward. And not bringing it down and getting it under control. And Stoke get that one forward, but Starfelt there again. Lafay. Starfelt pumps one forward, looking for Yamalak. And Yamalak's not really quite getting on the end of those. It's through to Baker. Baker's in. Well, blocked. Campbell's got it, though. It dropped just underneath the crossbar, and they take the lead after 24 minutes. They're a bit fortuitous come the end. Timon, Baker, and it's taken a deflection, and Tyrese Campbell gets there and nods it over the line. Stevens with a throw-in on that far side. It's a long throw, but he's thrown it to nobody. Stevens, Lafay, Bidstrup. Bidstrup has Tavares there. Tavares in space. Tavares into the area, and it's Lewis Openda. Of course it is. He's ruled it out again. For goodness sake. A free kick, Lafay with that free kick. Bicycle kick. I don't know who that was from. Who was that from? Somebody there. Brathwaite, I think, with the bicycle kick. And right on the stroke of half time, we have Nuno Tavares, who has picked up an injury in that back left side, a potential thigh injury. We don't want to change anything at the moment. We're going to leave him as he is. So it informs you the interplay on the pitch. Okay, yeah, we don't want to do it. I don't want to change that at the minute. I don't know. There's one thing they need to fix, and we're right on half time, and I don't really want to change him because I use up one of my changes, and I don't want to do that right at the minute, which means we will have to make the change because it won't let me do it without making that change. So Beck Sorensen comes on for Tavares, who's picked up that injury, and half-time has arrived. It's 1-0 at half-time. We went behind after 24 minutes. A very fortuitous goal from Tyrese Campbell, nodding it across the line. They've had 8 shots, 2 on target, 1.14, 44% of the possession. We've had 8 shots, 3 on target, 0.70, and 56% of the possession. Just not put our chances away. First highlight of the second half, 15 minutes in. Raya to Stevens. Starfelt, Bidstrup. And we need to get back on level terms. Shackleton's go forward. Brereton Diaz. He couldn't put it away. Yamalak, it's come back. Shackleton, it's still alive. Sorensen tries to get that into the area, but Gillespie is underneath it. And Brereton Diaz had the chance, but somehow or other didn't make use of it. As you'll see here, Brereton Diaz should have planted it away there, but the defender making a recovery. Sorensen, Brathwaite, Shackleton, Openda, who's come deep. Openda looking for Brereton Diaz, and it's cut out by the defender. Bidstrup, Lafee, Brereton Diaz, Yamalak. We come forward. Brereton Diaz, he scored! 13th goal of the season, and it's 1-1 after 55. And he didn't miss a second opportunity. And that's a bit more like it. Back level against Stoke. Brereton Diaz. Lovely shot right into the corner of the net. Gillespie with a goal kick. Nearly an hour on the clock. Starfelt underneath that. Only hands it as far as Coventry. Timon. And they swing that one forward. Sorensen under that. Shackleton to Lafee. Stevens comes forward. He's got Brown, who's coming up on his thing. They should have been shouting at him, really. And they've changed the flanks. It's gone through, but Sorensen will tidy up. Brathwaite. Lafee to Brereton Diaz. Brereton Diaz finds Yamalak. Yamalak's tripped, but Openda's in. But the goalkeeper makes the save. I think he was offside. And with 62 minutes on the clock, making two changes at this point. Mads Bidstrup, he's off. And he's picked up a yellow card. We've brought on Harry Winks for him. And Lewis Openda, who isn't having such a good day today. We've replaced him with Zicari. Timon with a throw in to Taylor. Reese, Coventry, gets that one forward, but Starfelt is there. Stevens tidies up. Brereton Diaz, Winks, Shackleton. Shackleton goes out wide for Stevens. Stevens, nice control, swings it in. Zicari! He's just come on, he's offside. That's the third goal this game we've had ruled out. And, oh dear. Long ball forward. Taylor is underneath that. And Stoke trying to get something going here. Brathwaite's going to get sent off. And with nearly 76 minutes on the clock, we're having to make a change in order to deal with the sending off of Brathwaite. And we've brought on Pablo Murray in that defensive line. But what we have done is we've taken one of the midfielders out. Lafee moves into the shadow striker role. We're going to set him up as an advanced playmaker, to be honest, behind Zicari and Brereton Diaz. I think we have... No, we don't have any changes left. So this is our last opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got to... Finn Stevens will have to come off as well. But who have we got to come on to replace him? Nobody. Nobody can replace Finn Stevens. I might drop Lafee back down into... back into there. Put him back up there. Oh, man. This is all going wrong now. Right. Shackleton is coming off. We are going to replace him with Perez. That is our final change. All our changes are made because we wouldn't get another opportunity. So we're going to have to make it now. And with 75 on the clock, that's how we're going to finish the game. Correa with the goal kick. Sorensen comes forward. Looking for Perez, who's just come on. He's tackled. Zicari! Oh, just over the top. No more highlights. It's all over. And we have managed to get a 1-1 draw of our final game. 15 shots, 4 on target, 1.67, 59% of the possession. They've had 12 shots, 2 on target, and 41% of the possession. That is how our season finishes. Let's go and have a look at how the table looks after the final round of games. So there we go. There are the final round of results. Blackburn beating drawing 1-1 with Sheffield United to confirm their playoff place. Burnley managing a 2-2 draw against Reading, which means that they miss out by 1 point. We ended up on 102 points, some 11 points behind Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace beating Sunderland 4-0 today. So that's how the top two. Sheffield United will play Blackburn. Wolves will play Bristol City in the playoffs. And as it turned out, Rotherham lost to Millwall by 1-0, which meant that they were relegated along with Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield. Peterborough beating Huddersfield by 4-0. And Birmingham, I think they must have won as well. Where are we? Birmingham did. They beat Watford 3-1 to secure there. So everybody doing what they needed to do, apart from Rotherham, who lost. And if you lose, then you definitely can't sort of question you're going to go down. And that's what needed to be done. So Peterborough winning, which is what they needed to do. And Birmingham also winning, which saw Rotherham off. Rotherham needed to win. So that's how it all ends up. We can have a quick look at the Premier League just to see who's coming up and who's going down. I think they've got games to play in here. There is some teams not... in fact, they haven't played their games yet, which would explain why it's not all sorted. But it looks like, as it stands, Middlesbrough, Leeds and Nottingham Forest coming down. Manchester City look likely to end up as champions in the top there. In fact, I think they've got more games to play, actually. They play 38, don't they? Or do they play 36? 19's 38. They've got games to play, so they're not finished yet. Right, that's how it's ended up. We will come back for one final episode, which will be a roundup of our series here in Project Turnaround with Brentford. And we will look forward to sort of discussing how we got on with the save. If you've enjoyed this particular save, leave me that thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. Give me some comments. Let me know what you thought of the series, whether you think we should do it again in the FM24 cycle, with a different team, quite possibly, or maybe the same team. Depends whether they drop out of the Premier League when we holiday it at the end of the season. Best way of keeping up to date with all our series, this and Irons in the Fire, and our new series, which is coming out very, very soon. More about that tomorrow. If you tune in, we will have a quick heads up of what's coming next Tuesday, released at 4:15 tomorrow. A best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel, of course, as always, is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideToo. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you, hopefully, for the next episode, which is the final episode, concludes the series on Friday, be episode 22. Until then, bye-bye.